he has a lot of critics. Why is that? What are the simple reasons why he has so many critics right now, including yourself?
Well, there are multiple reasons for that, but I guess the one that grabs the most headlines is the fact that the person who is now the president of Nigeria is in fact a drug criminal with a criminal history in the United States of all places. So um, for many years this had been rumored, but I don't think anyone had actually properly tried to dig into this story until I sank my teeth into it last year. And I was able to get my hands on federal court documents from the Northern District of Illinois Eastern Division, and it laid out the case very clearly that in 1992 he was the subject of a U.S. federal investigation as part of a heroin trafficking investigation, and he was found to be the money launderer working with a heroin trafficking ring, a Nigerian heroin trafficking ring in Chicago. And at the end of the investigation, he was forced to forfeit the sum of $460,000 to the United States government. Unfortunately, at the time, he wasn't actually in the US. He had returned to Nigeria to run for political office at the time, which would probably explain why there wasn't a criminal conviction. But be that as it may, the very fact of the assets forfeiture in itself, I think tells you everything you need to know. It was stated very clearly in the court documents that the sum of $460,000 is being forfeited to the United States government, being proceeds of narcotics trafficking, right? Heroin trafficking. So that's the person who apparently is now Nigeria's president. Being that Nigeria already has, it's fair to say, a bit of an image problem, this certainly is not going to be very helpful. Being potentially perceived as a narco state or a state that is being led by someone with at least a significant history of drug trafficking, that's certainly going to be a problem. Then the secondary issue, which is tacked onto the back of that, is while I was digging into this story last year and obviously trying to verify the other bits of his personal background and story, which he declared on his presidential declaration, it also became clear that, for lack of a better term, the president is a ghost. We don't know who this guy is, right? Because so as part of the efforts to verify, obviously the tales he's told for years, subpoenas were sent out to the companies he claimed to have worked at, the institutions he claimed to have attended. So he once claimed to have attended the University of Chicago. This was very quickly put down by the University of Chicago, which disowned him and said they didn't know him. So then he quickly changed the story and said, no, actually it was Chicago State University. And, for whatever reason, this was able to fly in 1999 when he first ran for governor. This time around, I decided to test that out. Like, did he actually go to this university? So in conjunction with a law firm in Chicago, Leahy, Eisenberg, and Franco, and an independent lawyer in Nigeria, we actually were able to get a subpoena sent out to Chicago State University. And the results that came back made it very clear that the person that Chicago State University has on file as a Bola A. Tinubu and the person who is now Nigeria's president, who is called Bola Ahmed Tinubu, are not in fact the same person, because the person who is on file there was a woman. The date of birth was different, the nationality was different. So potentially we have a situation where the person who is Nigeria's president now isn't only a drug criminal, but potentially is someone who potentially has committed identity theft. Right? This issue is in court now in Chicago and in Nigeria. And I just think it's amazing that for more than 30 years, he's somehow been able to sort of get away with all of this without being asked these questions. I think this is the first time his feet are actually being put to the fire. It's a pity that under Nigerian law, he was actually able to be sworn into office before these legal challenges could actually be completed. But I guess someone has to do the job. So here we are.
I was going to ask you, David, on that note where you ended, the fact that I think that it was just earlier this year, a Nigerian court ruled, I think it was an appeals court, ruled that, or rejected basically, petitions filed by opposition challenging the legitimacy of his presidency or his victory, including questioning his qualifications. So why, if what you are saying is the case, if, these from decades ago, these things in fact happened as you're describing them, and I know that you've looked up and have the documents for them, why then did a Nigerian appeals court move forward and reject the petitions opposing it and move forward with the election, as you said?
So, an unfortunate thing about the justice system in Nigeria is, first of all, it's not independent. The judiciary is actually not independent of the executive. The executive controls the money of the judiciary. The second thing is there's a very bad habit of delivering this thing called justice by technicality. So, in the case of his educational qualifications and his failure to declare an additional nationality, which was also another perjury on the electoral declaration, what the court basically said was, oh, well, the way this evidence was submitted didn't meet this process or that process. Therefore, we're not admitting it. We're striking it out. So basically, that decision wasn't made on the merits of the case. It was made off the back of a technicality. And even more farcically, in my opinion, the judgment that was made regarding the fact that he had, forfeited money for heroin trafficking. He had involvement in heroin trafficking. What the court said basically was it was his bank accounts that were sued by the U.S. government, I guess, using the framework of a U.S. civil asset forfeiture technically is true. But obviously, you and I know that's a legal technicality because obviously a bank account is not a standalone entity. There's an individual behind it. So what the Nigerian Appeal Court said was the bank accounts in the name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu committed the crimes and not the man, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So basically, the president's bank accounts are guilty of drug trafficking, but not the man, not the president. The president. I personally think that's a ridiculous judgment, but here we are.
David, we have only a couple more minutes, but I wanted to ask you about the documents the FBI here in the States, of course, now says that they're going to release on President Tinubu and your role in helping that to happen.
Yes. So shortly before the election, I'd actually tried to get hold of the documents in Tinubu's FBI file because I know for a fact anyone who has ever been the subject of a U.S. federal investigation does in fact have an FBI file. Yeah. And in response to the FOIA, the FBI said because of privacy considerations, we're not going to give you this information. He's a private citizen. So after the election, which he purportedly won, he's no longer a private citizen. He's now a public official. So he sent, in conjunction with a gentleman called Aaron Greenspan, who runs a website called plainsight.org. You might be aware of it. He's based in San Francisco. We sent off another set of FOIAs, this time to the FBI, the CIA, the State Department, the DEA, the IRS, and the U.S. attorneys. And they initially stonewalled. So we went to court, right? So myself and Aaron, in conjunction with a lawyer whom we were able to get to work pro bono. So in the initial submission from the respondents was that potentially this was going to drag on to like 2026. And then a couple of weeks ago, pretty much out of nowhere, I didn't see it coming. It was, I think, Friday, September 8th, I think it was.
A forged results. Yeah. A forged results is a forged results. We have Mesoma, the girl who improved her jam score from 240 something to 260 something. The whole Nigeria was on top of her. They wanted to kill her as if she has done something no one else has ever done in Nigeria. Suddenly, JAMB banned her for 3 years. DSS arrested her, this, that, and the rest are history. Now on the other hand, now we have our president who forged a certificate. We have our president who forged a certificate, and the constitution requires that before you become a Nigerian president, you have certificate. So please, and the way it is now, we are not feeling fine. No, Nigeria is feeling fine. Mostly I myself, I'm very much annoyed and angry, even hungry myself. So that's the problem.
So what do you think they're responsible for what are you saying as an individual?
As an individual, the man is fraudulent. Is it today they know? Even the corpse or the spirit of Gani Fahimi will be rejoicing anywhere he is now because he started it as far back as 1999 when he contested for Lagos State governor. That was when Gani Fahimi followed this matter of forgery on him. We Nigerians, we don't like following things the way they are. We like, I don't understand the kind of country. If this country were to be outside Europe or America, anywhere in the world, Tinubu is supposed to have resigned by now. But he's sitting tight there. I don't know what he's still doing there. He should go.
So Tinubu should go?
He should go, my brother.
Sir, what do you think is responsible for the certificate?
Jagaban. No get certificate too. You know say that man no go school. My money use the pass road. So I don't know whether the money go save am for this one.
Know the truth. We all know the truth. You know this matter now. As they say, no get certificate, no be lie you. Because before you say miloko, do you know meaning of a miloko? Now my turn. So they know themselves. They know the truth.
So what do you suggest make it happen now as this matter don't go ahead?
What I suggest for my own, I know say as a Nigeria, as a black, will be for Nigeria, for my country, we no get law. We no get
so
law.
nothing go happen now. They will just wait.
What I suggest now, one thing what they talk. That is my director. May they release them now. They call. That be only help.
All the things that the man brought, even before the election, everything was forgery. He bring a fake bishop. Before he ruled as a governor in Lagos State, the result that he present, even the school is not existing when all the documents he brought. But the only thing is that we are in lawless country.
But the school has come out that Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended Chicago University, but the certificate he presented to INEC, and that one they forged.
No, Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended, he have admission, let me say he have admission, but the other one is like it's a woman, it's not a man. So the certificate now have shown that it's a woman, that is not a Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So this forging of certificate
Conduct for that to make a better person they there. Now Nigerians day today, nobody will they happy for Tinubu. The comments will make the type of rally say you go make Nigeria happy, you go make everything do okay. But now a little of how much? Gare now how much for market? Rice now how much? Or have somebody like Tinubu, Jagaban of Lagos, or come be that girl from Nigeria. Make it just go. We make better person.
Make Jagaban come out.
Make him come out from that. Make we find another person. Improved her jam score from 240 something to 260 something. The whole Nigeria was on top of her. They wanted to kill her as if she has done something no one else has ever done in Nigeria. Suddenly, JAMB banned her for 3 years. DSS arrested her, this, that, and the rest are history. Now on the other hand, now we have our president who forged a certificate. And no one is saying anything about that. The DSS will not be on the matter. Nobody is doing anything about it. Now the likes of his ministers, let me not mention any name to be precisely, all of them are now coming out to justify. What are they justifying in this country? They are making a mess out of this country.
But the university admitted that the man actually attended school.
But the certificate is forged.
The one he presented to us
is forged.
So should the president be disqualified or should...
He is supposed to be disqualified with immediate effect. Because let us use David Lyon's case as a case study. David Lyon of Bayelsa. David Lyon did not forge his certificate. He won the election. He did not forge his certificate, but his deputy forged his certificate, and he was disqualified. They said because someone has already forged a certificate, that ticket has been disqualified.
So the same thing applies to the president?
Everywhere. We have a judicial. Since the judicial, that's what the judicial is judged. Then the same thing should be applicable to the president.
So you think the president is enjoying immunity?
There are not supposed to be any immunity covering this one because a forged certificate is a forged certificate.
So Tinubu should be removed from the office?
He should be removed because he forged his certificate.
So sir, let's go to what is currently going on in the southeast.
Presently, whether you get Tinubu get certificate or you don't get certificate, Tinubu is there already. We know how Tinubu come. Nobody will remove Tinubu again. So I don't understand the one court are saying go and get a Tinubu certificate or don't get Tinubu certificate. All of them judges there, they know themselves.
So the certificate thing is irrelevant now.
The certificate something is irrelevant. It does not mean anything. The judges there cannot remove Tinubu again, which you and I know. Are they going to remove Tinubu again? They have collected bribe. It's bribe that rules in Nigeria. He bring a fake bishop. Before he ruled as a governor in Lagos State, the result that he present, even the school is not existing when
all the results, all the documents he brought. But the only thing is that we are in lawless country.
But the school has come out that Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended Chicago University, but the certificate he presented to INEC, that one they forge.
No, Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended, he have admission, let me say he have admission, but the other one is like it's a woman, it's not a man. So the certificate now have shown that it's a woman, that is not a Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So this forging of certificates is something that even this our Supreme Court. Do you remember when this thing happened in Anambra State? A girl called Mesoma in ANEC. That the girl hired, whether he hired somebody or that wrote his own results. The thing was all over the social media. Even ANEC himself wanted to take the girl to court. But the girl come out in national television and make a public apology. But this is somebody that will say this is our president. All the things you are doing, all the children is learning from that. Now, this man bring results, fake certificate. If it is a civilian country, this man is supposed to be resigned without even somebody telling him to resign with apology, even to run for his life. But we are here because of Yoruba people will come and say, this is my, some of the Yoruba, because I know that is Yoruba people that know that deserve a good to Nigeria. So deserve a good to their generation. This is not about it's my brother or it's for this one, it's tribalism. This is about how can we get this Nigeria in order to move forward. That is the problem.
So Tinubu should resign.
Immediately. If it is a country, if the man have conscience, he's supposed to resign. Number one, he's not capable. It's all the things that he brought. Even now he's ruling. He said he's not going to pay subsidy, but he's still paying it. Where are we? Are we going front? Are we going back?
So you are saying Tinubu self as a president, they're competent?
They're competent. Even the bed are singing it. You are seeing how the Nigeria, nothing is moving.
You said when he was coming, he brought fake bishop.
He brought fake bishop. You see the bishop, some of the bishops are business people. Then go and hire them. That is, if you look Tinubu lineage in politics, anything concerning Tinubu in politics is fake. He's looking at it, it's fake. It's not that I'm the one that say it. But you see it, you go to internet, there is one old man that said, if anybody.
This young man, David Hunde.
Yes.
Is he the redefining journalism using social media?
Sincerely, he's mocking all of us. He's mocking all of us. You can't find investigative journalism anywhere any longer, especially the kind that David Hunde is doing. I am on Twitter every minute. I read everything that young man writes. And you could see that societies up there, outside of Nigeria, are giving regards to that young man. They are giving him awards. They are recognizing him. They are encouraging him that, look, nobody has that kind of guts any longer. People are in a rat race for money now. They want to collect money from the presidency. They want positions. They want to curry favor. They want to be giving money, especially, and unfortunately, you also have newspaper houses, because of the economic downturn that newspaper houses are going through. Nobody can, because if a few days ago I saw a viral video of Governor Minister Wike, with his usual jokes, saying that, I think it was at a function. He was commending them. He said he could see that all newspapers, all news and media houses are doing well. They are, commending his administration. That he knows that it's as a result of the advertorials that his government has been giving them, and that those who have not been captured, they should not bother very shortly. Because I remember Professor Adigo Agbadia and I wrote a joint paper some years ago where we talked about the fact that